Yo, I need everyone to stop what you're doing right now because what's going down across the country is absolutely insane. It's Sunday, January 25th, 2026, and we're literally in the middle of a winter storm that people are going to be talking about for years. No cap. Conditions are getting worse by the minute, and the snow and ice are ramping up to seriously dangerous levels. What we're seeing right now is totally off the charts, like nothing I've seen in a long time. We're talking up to 2 feet of snow in some spots and over an inch of destructive ice as this monster system keeps getting stronger. What makes this storm so freaking dangerous isn't just how massive it is. That's not even the worst part. What makes this one truly terrifying is you've got heavy snow and crippling ice hitting at the exact same time, stretching from Texas all the way to the East Coast. The impacts are going to stick around for days, creating nightmare travel conditions, widespread power outages, and major infrastructure damage across the entire southern half of the country. States of emergency have been declared in over 20 states, including Texas, Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Maryland, New York, New Jersey, Ohio, and Delaware. Officials are bracing for impacts that could last weeks, and in extreme cases where ice goes over an inch thick, damage could take literal months to recover from. By the way, if you want specific weather forecast for your area or city, just drop them in the comments and I'll get back to you individually when I can. Also, if you dig the video and hit that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. Seriously, means a lot. All right, let's get into it. For perspective, this storm is getting serious comparisons to the legendary winter of 2013, which was absolutely brutal. That February, a massive nor'easter dumped over 2 feet of snow on Boston. Parts of Connecticut saw more than 3 feet, and the entire Northeast was completely paralyzed for days. What we're seeing now has that same historic vibe written all over. The difference is, this thing covers an even bigger area, and the ice component down south is way more dangerous than anything we saw back in 2013. Let me break down exactly what's happening right now. Heavy freezing rain is hammering northern Mississippi, northwest Alabama near Florence, and stretching deep into the south. Nashville has already switched from snow to freezing rain and sleet, and most of Tennessee is dealing with serious ice buildup. Around the ice storm zone from Dallas to Shreveport to Memphis, this is where power outages could seriously last for days or even weeks. No joke. Oklahoma City got absolutely slammed with snowfall rates hitting up to 3 inches per hour. That kind of intensity made visibility basically zero, and roads became completely impassable within minutes. Light to moderate snow is still coming down across Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, and northern Kentucky as we speak. Here's the breakdown by region and major cities, starting with the Southern Plains. Dallas-Fort Worth is looking at 1 to 2 inches of snow since most of the precipitation fell as freezing rain and sleet first, which is a total mess. Ice accumulation is significant with a 1/4 to 1/2 inch coating absolutely everything. Houston is transitioning to freezing rain right now, followed by a dangerous flash freeze. San Antonio and Austin are seeing a few tenths of an inch of ice piling up. Amarillo picked up 5 to 7 inches of straight-up snow with temperatures in the single digits. Oklahoma is legit one of the hardest hit states for snow right now. Oklahoma City is reporting 10 to 14 inches with some areas pushing 15, which is crazy. Tulsa has similar totals of 10 to 15 inches, making this the most significant snowstorm for eastern Oklahoma in over a decade, hands down. This rivals those legendary Oklahoma ice storms from the past, though the snow component is actually way more impressive this time. Kansas is buried right now, guys. Wichita has 6 to 10 inches with temperatures into single digits. Brutal. Kansas City is sitting around 5 to 7 inches. The entire state is dealing with dangerously cold temps following all this snow. Arkansas is facing a straight-up nightmare scenario. Little Rock saw its burst of snow and then switched over to ice, which is the worst. Northern Arkansas has 1/2 foot to a full foot of snow and sleet. Southern and eastern portions are dealing with catastrophic ice, approaching 3/4 of an inch. That's insane. Fort Smith and Fayetteville saw 6 to 10 inches of snow piling up. Missouri is getting absolutely crushed. St. Louis is forecasting 8 to 12 inches, making this the biggest storm since February 2013 when they picked up over 10 inches. Columbia has 5 to 9 inches coming down. Springfield is going for 9 to 13 inches, the largest snowfall there in over a decade, no question. Louisiana and Mississippi are facing the worst ice storm conditions in the entire country right now. Shreveport has 1 to 2 inches of sleet with half an inch of freezing rain on top of that. Monroe is approaching 3/4 of an inch of ice, which is devastating. The real disaster zone is northern Mississippi, guys. Tupelo and Greenwood are looking at over an inch of ice with an inch and a half possible in isolated spots. Absolutely catastrophic. This kind of ice destroys power grids for literal weeks. Vicksburg is forecasting 0.8 of an inch. Super dangerous. Tennessee is split between snow up north and ice down south. Nashville is dealing with half an inch of ice accumulation on top of the snow they already got earlier. Memphis is looking at 3/4 of an inch of ice, which is going to create major problems for days. Knoxville and eastern Tennessee have 6 to 10 inches of snow in the higher elevations. Chattanooga is sitting in the mix zone with significant sleet and freezing rain. Kentucky has this crazy gradient from heavy snow north to ice south. Louisville is forecasting 8 to 12 inches, biggest storm they've seen in years. Lexington has 6 to 10 inches falling across the metro area. Bowling Green and southern Kentucky are in that nasty transition zone with sleet and freezing rain mixing in. Moving into the Ohio Valley, this is where snow totals get truly insane. Cincinnati is approaching 15 to 18 inches in some spots, with the metro expecting 10 to 15. Wild. Columbus has 10 to 15 inches, which is historic for central Ohio. Cleveland is sitting at 8 to 12 inches and counting. Indianapolis has 8 to 11 inches piling up. Evansville is going for 12 to 14 inches, crazy amounts. These numbers are totally comparable to those legendary 2013 and 2014 storms that completely paralyzed the region. Illinois has this sharp gradient going on. Southern Illinois near Mount Vernon has 8 to 11 inches coming down. Springfield has 5 to 8 inches. Chicago and northern areas are only seeing a coating to 2 inches on the far edge of the heavy snow band. The mid-Atlantic is where this storm is really flexing its muscles. Washington, D.C. saw 4 to 8 inches of snow before transitioning to sleet and freezing rain. Total chaos. A 1/4 inch of ice on top of snow creates absolute nightmare conditions for everyone. Baltimore has 5 to 9 inches with ice accumulation on top. Richmond faces a particularly nasty scenario with 2 to 6 inches of snow plus half an inch of ice. Disaster recipe. Virginia is getting absolutely hammered. Roanoke in the I-81 corridor could see over a foot of snow. Charlottesville has 8 to 12 inches before the transition starts. The Shenandoah Valley approaches a foot in the higher elevations. Beautiful but dangerous. West Virginia is complex with potential warm air intrusions down south messing things up. Charleston could see totals cut down, but northern West Virginia from Wheeling into the Panhandle has 8 to 12 inches of pure snow. Beckley has significant snow plus 4/10 of an inch of ice. Brutal combo. The Carolinas are dealing primarily with ice, which is the worst. Charlotte is facing 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch of freezing rain. Major ice storm for the Queen City. Raleigh has over a 1/4 inch coating everything. Greenville and Spartanburg are in a total war zone with 3/4 of an inch expected. The mountains, including Asheville and Boone, could see an inch of ice in isolated spots. Absolutely devastating. These communities were already destroyed by Hurricane Helene just a few months ago. This is terrible timing. Georgia is sitting on the southern edge of this thing. Atlanta has ice storm warnings with 3/10 of an inch forecast. Gonna be rough. Gainesville could see 4/10 or more piling up. Pennsylvania is where snow totals become truly impressive. We're talking major amounts. Philadelphia has 6 to 11 inches with a 1/4 inch of ice mixing in. Total mess. Pittsburgh is looking at a foot, with some areas pushing 18 inches, absolutely buried. Harrisburg and State College have 8 to 14 inches coming down. The Poconos could approach 18 inches or even more. Insane. New York State is getting totally buried. New York City is forecasting 8 to 12 inches, the biggest storm of the season so far. There's some potential for lower totals along the coast if mixing occurs, but this is still going to be significant either way. Albany has 8 to 14 inches falling. Buffalo has 10 to 14 inches. Syracuse could see a foot or more, typical for them. New Jersey faces 6 to 12 inches across most of the state. Newark has 8 to 12 inches coming. Connecticut is getting hammered, with Hartford at 12 to 16 inches. Crazy. The Northwest Hills could approach 18 inches, absolutely buried. This totally rivals that February 2013 storm. Same vibes. Massachusetts is facing a major storm situation. Boston is forecasting 12 to 18 inches, potentially the biggest snowfall since that legendary 2013 blizzard. Worcester could approach 20 inches. Absolutely nuts. Now let's talk about the ice accumulation, guys. The dark purple zone covering northern Mississippi, southwestern Tennessee, and western North Carolina mountains is expecting over an inch of ice. Some spots near Tupelo could see an inch and a half. Catastrophic levels. This leads to catastrophic power outages lasting weeks, potentially even months in some areas. The cold air damming event happening in the Carolinas is particularly nasty and impactful. The Appalachian Mountains could see isolated locations with over an inch of freezing rain. Total devastation. This is critical for everyone in the southern tier. As this storm exits, a flash freeze is going to occur. Super dangerous. Houston, southern Mississippi, even areas near New Orleans are going to see temperatures drop rapidly and suddenly. Any liquid water on roads is going to freeze solid. Instant black ice. Black ice is going to develop across a huge area, extremely dangerous. Monday morning is going to be extremely dangerous, with temperatures in the 20s and teens reaching all the way down to the Gulf Coast. Looking at the impacts, anywhere shown in purple faces extreme conditions, with power outages potentially lasting weeks or even months. The red zone, including the Carolinas, Atlanta, Houston, and the Ohio Valley, expects major travel impacts with scattered power outages. This storm is legit one for the record books, drawing legitimate comparisons to the legendary winter of 2013 and actually surpassing it in some ways. The combined snow and ice impacts across such a massive geographic area make this truly historic. Stay safe out there, everyone. Keep your batteries charged up. Stay off the roads if you can, and please check on your neighbors, especially elderly folks. This is going to be a long few days for millions of people. I'll be back with more updates soon. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.